What winter sounds like. I'm going to try my best to describe these songs. Sheraton Commander. Opening in the style of Vivaldi, it has a very menacing feel that leads you to believe the rest of the album is going to be very dark. Sounds like a very slowed down and somber interpretation of Tastes Like Pain. Also reminds me of a symphonic What Is This I Find, old songs from the Black Hole demo. Basketball. This song reminds me of Fall, not the Autumn EP, very slow and reflective type of pop song. The main guitar line reminds me of the opening of Heart-Shaped Box mixed with Puddle of Mud She Hates Me. Yes, I'm sorry. I hate Puddle of Mud, but that's what it reminds me of. This is aimed to be the single, and out of the group it probably has the most single potential, but I can't see it getting much commercial play in its current state. Iambic Pentameter, this is the most unique off of it. Lots of weird transitions and arrangements. Song starts off with slow folky guitar strums. It kind of reminds me of some of the spring songs, but not as whimsical. Goes into a crunchy chorus that sounds more like a pre-chorus, and back to the first verse's strums, back to the chorus and then a classic Weezer sounding solo. There is a very abrupt change in the later half that lifts an old demo. You and Me Together, with some Shakespearean type accordions or organs, sorry not sure what type of instrument this is trying to mimic, that then goes into another abrupt change with a xylophone-like melody. And kind of a Charlie Brown, The Rivers demo, vocal for a few seconds, and then goes into another abrupt transition with some mathy guitars, and then ends with a finale very reminiscent of The Greatest Man That Ever Lived. I Want a Dog, kind of sounds like Basketball, chorus has a shanty-like vocal delivery. The solo is pretty killer, very Pinkerton-esque. I think this could also be a contender for the single, but still don't see it doing well. I personally like it better than Basketball. Dark Enough to See the Stars, this one again shares an opening guitar line that sounds very much like Basketball. It reminds me of a lullaby, and the chorus reminds me a lot of Long Time Sunshine. This is one of the stronger songs. The One That Got Away, opening guitar notes sound like the first few notes of a Chip Taylor song, Angel of the Morning, and Rivers delivers a vocal that sounds suspiciously like Zelda's lullaby from Ocarina of Time. In fact, I think a lot of these songs remind me of Ocarina of Time now that I think about it. There's a part in the bridge that sounds kind of like the So Put Them Guns Away. Part of Lullaby for Wayne but without the energy. The guitar outro reminds me of the outro of Radiohead's No Surprises, and Weezer's own Miss Sweeney. The Deep and Dreamless Sleep, this one has another Angel of the Morning style opening, sounds very folky like their cover of The Weight with a little bit more pop. It's kind of an unremarkable closing song if I'm being honest. No epic or profound outro, just kind of ends on a whimper. Hopefully the studio version will give it more depth. I don't think it sounds like what Rivers described it as, but it does sound a bit more stripped back than we've seen from their studio albums. The closest Weezer thing I could compare it to is the band version of Long Time Sunshine.
I was hoping Basketball was about basketball. Need Rivers' opinion on James Harden.
Some of the lyrics were, "'Cause I can't throw this basketball into my own heart? Could you be there for me and tell me that you want me on the team? Ooh alley-oop, don't make me go alone. I want a dog." I couldn't really make out the lyrics, so take this with a sea of salt. It opens with the narrator singing about wanting a dog in an innocent, childlike manner. In a later verse, he ends up in prison and is sitting alone in his cell, still singing about wanting a dog. I took that to mean he was reminiscing about his lost innocence, simpler times, and wanting the company and unconditional love of a dog in a more grown-up, heartbreaking way, now that he's truly alone and so far gone from the child he once was. Again, I may have completely misheard this, lol.